contributor, Jeanette Moore, one of the best law of attraction blogs out there. Lots of folks tell us how to attract more money, myself included, so I thought it would be cool to share a step-by-step story of how it's actually done. This is my example of how I manifested $1,000 in 10 days. This isn't a magic 5-step list for everyone to follow or an abundance exercise you'll find in any manifesting book. This is just what I did myself to manifest some fast cash out of the blue. For fun. You may glean some insights from my experience, or feel your own inner nudges about how to put this to work yourself. I hope it inspires you to your own deliberate creation success, whatever you might choose. 2 things to know before I start in. The first is that I don't think money is the be-all and all it's often cracked up to be. I've got nothing against money, but I also don't expect it to make me happy. I know happiness is my job, not money's. Second, I've been working on getting friendly with money for years. I know that when I feel frustrated about money, it has to reflect my frustration. When I'm scared about money, it matches that vibe, too. Whatever I'm feeling is what it has to show me. So I've been working on getting friendly with it for a while now. That part didn't happen in 10 days. Full disclosure about why I did this, I thought this would make a cool post, and I knew I'd need to actually personally do it in order to write about it. So that's where my incentive came from, to attract $1,000 out of the blue in 10 days. Why $1,000? It seemed significant enough to have fun with, but not too big to push me into disbelief. Why 10 days? I know universe doesn't need much time. And I like the sound of that title. Which is why this isn't called How to Manifest $5,000 in 4 days. So the vibe behind this project was fun, light and positive. It wasn't from a place of need or fear or worry. That vibration set up makes a big difference, I'm certain. Here were my rules. In order for it to count, the money had to be from an unexpected source. If I was already anticipating the money that showed up, it wouldn't count, even if I'd temporarily forgotten about it. Also, I didn't want it to be associated with work. Meaning, an out-of-the-blue speaking gig for $1K wouldn't count. Anything that I had to work for wouldn't be included in this tally. I did allow that the money might come from different places in bite-sized pieces. As long as it added up to 1,000 or more within 10 days, I'd count it. Okay, enough disclaimers. Here's how I manifested 4 figures from out of nowhere in a week's time. This actually took me 2 tries. The first time I did this a few weeks prior, I had a very different routine than the second time. My first attempt included several manifesting tools and resulted in a near miss of $70,000 on day 7. Way to over-deliver, universe. But when it didn't come to fruition by day 10, I got irritated and dropped it. That $70 cake check is still on its way, but it doesn't count for the 10-day limit on this project. I suspect, though, the work I did in that first go-around helped contribute to the success on my second attempt. So I'll share what I did on that first try. Spoke my intention out loud, $1,000 in 10 days to be delivered in an easy, enjoyable way. Gave this manifesting project a name, Clear Blue Money Manifestation. Invited others to join me, that is manifesting calls of view. Group energy is super powerful. Set up my symbolic representation of this project. I used pretend $1 million bills stuffed into a clear blue plastic cup. Get it? Money from the clear blue. And money taped into a blue ribbon windsock meant to represent a financial windfall. I practiced my $1,000 money out of the clear blue feeling. It included a celebration dance and a just like that declaration. Practiced the story I would tell my friend Greg about how I manifested $1,000 out of the clear blue. Getting used to the words of it and the feeling of it. I did $1,000 out of the clear blue on my manifesting success list. Practiced having eyes for free money. What does it look like? Imagined free money as my new normal. Of course, this sort of thing happens to me every day. Tuned into why I want it. Free money is cool, and manifesting is fun. Activated vibration of delight. To feel now how I would feel then. Polar bear cub pictures did the trick. Thought of ways I've experienced money out of the blue before. Called in angels and higher players to help. Let it go. After letting it go, when I think of this topic, I thought of it as a done deal. All that was spread out over a period of 5 days. On day 7 I was offered, out of the clear blue, $70,000 to sell my interest in a house I own. It was a more than fair deal, and solved other challenges at the time, so I accepted. But the money wasn't in hand by day 10, so it didn't truly count. On my second attempt several weeks later, I decided to let the process be much easier. Here's a breakdown of what my second attempt looked like. Day 1, past tense storytelling in writing. This has always been my go-to manifesting technique when it really matters, since putting it in writing is always super powerful for me. Day 2, didn't do anything. Didn't even think about this project. Day 3, didn't do anything again. This is first rate letting go. Day 4, still didn't do any alignment techniques. In fact, at this point I've totally forgotten about this project. It was the afternoon of day 4 that my ex-boyfriend handed me a $5,000 cashier's check payable to me. What's this for? I asked. At first glance it looked like a check, official check for that matter, nearly equivalent to cash, and it had my name on it. But it didn't make any sense. I was 100% confused. He explained he was closing an account at the credit union that day, and that he wanted to support me in my latest legal adventure. More on that later in my blog. And this was his contribution. My ex wanted to support me with my legal expenses. The guy who earlier that summer was. Actually, I'm going to leave out any negative stories about him. Suffice it to say, this counts as a legitimate pleasant surprise. It also definitely counted as coming from the clear blue and being easy and enjoyable. And it was also 5 times over the $1,000 I said I wanted in half the time. Holy guacamole, right. It actually took me a few hours to remember my manifesting project and realize that this was that come to fruition. So that's how I manifested over $1,000 in less than 10 days.